In this video, we're going to look at a new feature in Sonia 2016 Q3 called Placement Officer Interviews. The concept of this is if you want to have interviews between students and placement officers, and you want students to be able to pick a time slot for an available meeting. To access this, it's on the main screen of Sonia, and there's a little Interviews tab just there. I'm going to click on that. And it goes to a calendar view. You can change to month or week or day. And this is the times when you want interviews to be organised for. So for example, let's say this Friday, I wanted to have interviews all day for me. So Friday 18th is going to be my target. On the right-hand side, we can see it says Field Director Dean Rosenhain, and I can get a choice of all the different placement officers or field directors, depending on what you call them, in my school, just by seeing this drop-down list. Underneath it is a list of students who can be in the pool of students who can select interviews. What I'm going to do is first of all put in a whole bunch of interviews on Friday the 18th using a bulk create system just over here. So I'm going to put in view for semester 1 2017. So I've got a semester thing, and it's going to be in room and be prepared is a message in my description of the meeting. And I want it to go from Friday the 18th all day. Oops. And I'll start at 9 o'clock in the morning and end at 5 o'clock in the afternoon. 15-minute interviews with a 15-minute gap between them. And you can see that you can select a pattern of days that you want the interviews to occur on. This is just one day, so I'm just going to narrow it down to Friday, and I'll click Create. Just warning me that it's going to be creating 16 interviews for me. So Sonia chugs away and creates those 16 interview time slots on Friday. There we go. Now the next thing is to decide which students should be able to see these interviews. And I've got one student here, but I want to add a lot more students, all the students that are enrolled in a particular placement group that I've got going on. So I'm going to click the plus sign to add to my list of students. And it comes up to a student window on the search tab, and this little warning letting me know that we're searching for students to be used as a field director. And there is a new wizard, I'll click OK on that, on the ribbon for students that says field director or placement officer interviews. So I'm looking for a particular placement, so I'm going to put in a placement group code, and I think it's called something like advance. I'll do a search on that. And there are 229. That's not exactly what I had in mind. So I'm looking for advanced Mac 15. Let's try that. I'll do a search. And that's better. There's the 12 students that I want to be part of this interview process. They're the ones that need to be interviewed for next year. So on the ribbon of the search for students, I can now click the Field Director Interviews button, and I can choose which of my field directors are supposed to be looking after these 15 students, and in this case it's going to be my name. And you can see there's also an option for removing students at this point as well. But I'll just say assign. So once again, Sonia will chug through those 12 students, and it is now said that all of those is going to be part of my interviewing. So if I click on the interview panel again, you'll see now on the right hand side I've got the 12 students plus the original student that was in there. So at this point, what I can do is impersonate one of these students and see what they see. So I'm impersonating the student, and Sonia's chugging away, and we'll see that we have an interviews button appearing on the ribbon for the student. So if I click on the interviews button, it will show the student all of the interviews with all the different placement officers that they have access to. In this case, the student only has access to one of them. So the student can now see that on Friday the 18th, there's these appointment opportunities all the way through the day. They can see the subject and the room and who the field director is. So I'm going to choose select on this one. So the student has grabbed the 9:30 to 9:45 appointment. There's all sorts of rules in Sonia which will prevent a student from picking more than one. They might be an option to turn off or delete this one that they no longer want. You can set up various combinations of that. But it's a first in, best dressed, grabbing a time slot for each of these students. So now I'm just going to jump back into Sonia. And if I refresh this, I'll see that the student that I did pick has now got an appointment time next to them, so I can see that here. But a more interesting aspect to this is that you can, as a placement officer, choose to subscribe to your appointments and look at them in Outlook. So if I choose to subscribe to that, it will open up Outlook and give me a message referring to this calendar, and I can say yes. And now in my Outlook calendar, I'll just get rid of my personal one because it appears right next to it. There's a way now of seeing those appointments as they come in. So there's Bernadette Hume's interview. If I click on that, I can see there's the little message I put in there, the address, the location, and the people that were attending from the name of the person and the name of the placement officer. And the good thing is that this calendar inside of Outlook will stay up to date and refreshed as other students come in and log in and grab those appointment slots. I'll see them filling up in my Outlook calendar. So hopefully some of you will find great use for this new feature in Sonia.